maybe the ultimate like Blaire White simulation glitch was the podcast. Well, aside from hanging out with Jake Shields, which was weird because I've been an MMA and jiu-jitsu fan forever. Like Blaire White and Jake Shields. Okay, never thought I'd see that. But the podcast with Tim Pool, Alex Jones, and Joe Rogan. Yeah. I like looking at some of the the screenshots of that. I almost felt like you were a little bit of like deer in the headlights of like, what have I gotten myself into? Tell me about that experience.
Oh yeah, that was okay. So I had just moved to Austin, Texas at that point, and I moved from Hollywood, and I was still under this like mindset of like, if you're a content creator, this is a stupid false mindset, but if you're a content creator, it's like you have to be in like LA to like have opportunities and go to certain events and be around certain people. And I was kind of panicking about having moved to Austin because I'm like, what the fuck did I do just moving to Texas? It's like I've been in California my whole life, born and raised. What am I doing? And so I was feeling like very like, who are my people here? Do I have friends? Do I have whatever? And then the RV stream happened, and I had known Joe through the internet for years, like just kind of casual internet friends, and he always was a supporter. I had known Alex. I had done his show one time, like at the very beginning of my career. And then I met Michael Malice, and he's my best friend now. And it was just this very surreal, like, okay, I think I found like some fucking momentum here in Texas and like a group of people that seem cool. And you know, what's crazy is like people assume the worst about Joe Rogan and the worst about Alex Jones. And they assume that they really are transphobic. And it's like, that's been a big lesson for me, understanding the difference between media perception of individuals and real life. You know, Joe Rogan has multiple times on his podcast when I wasn't even on, defended me very publicly, very loudly, said specifically, conservatives who think trans people aren't real should listen to Blaire White. Alex Jones.
Joe Rogan platformed trans people years and years and years before that was cool.
He had Buck Angel on very early on in his podcast.
And there's that one Navy SEAL, I forget their name.
I don't know. But yeah,
but
he, you know, and then, you know, Alex, the other day, Alex Jones, this clip is on my Twitter, went on like a fucking 20-minute rant about how he doesn't care if conservatives think that he's hypocritical for liking me, that I'm a good person and all this shit, and was calling me she and all this stuff, which people assume he never would. And it's like, you know, these people are a lot older than me and live very different lives out here in Austin. But whenever we intersect, it's always just really fun. And it's interesting to sort of be grouped in with people that the public perception of them is just so wildly off. And you see them and it's like, wow, you know, Roseanne's another one, you know, Roseanne's fucking awesome. She's the coolest person. And the fact that the media railroaded her and really tried to like ruin her fucking life is crazy. But I think that these people, even though I'm obviously in terms of like notoriety or fame or whatever, like a fucking level 1 to their like 12, I think that they recognize that the real me and the public perception of me is very similar to the situation they have, which is that it's just wildly different. And so they get it, you know?
It felt like a rare situation where you are the quietest personality in the room. The energy just seemed, it's crazy.
Because you know what it was? I was literally thinking in real time. And this is how you know, like the trans people who think that I just don't care about normalizing or promoting acceptance of trans people, like listen to this little talk I had in my head as I'm sitting in between Alex Jones, Joe Rogan, Michael Malice, Temple, and they're all screaming and yelling and whatever. Yeah. I'm thinking, you know what? No other trans person perhaps on the planet, not even perhaps, I'll say it, I don't care who gets mad at me. There's not one other trans woman on the planet who could be sitting here right now and that would be let in this room and that would be able and would find it in themselves to even want to be in this room because they're all so scared of all these people around me that like I have fucking won and made a case for trans people by just sitting here and looking cute. So they can scream around me and I'm just going to sit and I'm just going to make funny faces and I'm just going to be fucking me. And I already like won. So I didn't feel the need to scream over them because I was like, I don't really know much about a fucking depopulation plan that they keep screaming about. So I'm not going to interject. And the fact that I'm just a fucking tranny sitting here is doing a lot, in my opinion.
I totally agree. And like, it was such a win. I watched the Reddit comments on that, and a ton of them were like, who's that hot girl they had on the show? And people were like, oh, that's Blaire White. She's trans. And they were like, oh, just kind of not expecting that. And like, just that small exchange right there of them having that moment in their head of like, oh, this is a trans person that like didn't beat me over the head with the fact that they were trans from like the first moment.
Right.
I think that people, even just that.
And that people that they admire are not only comfortable being around, but are clearly friends. Like, yeah. You know, it's not as if I was just planted in there, because there's also the narrative that I get used in those situations. And it's like, Joe Rogan doesn't need to use me for shit.
No.
Alex Jones doesn't even need to use me for shit. Although I will say, I think that I have done kind of a lot for Alex. Not that I am owed anything by him, but, you know, I think that he gets treated like such a pariah. And then, you know, I put him on my channel, on my podcast, and those videos did so well. And I think that I've kind of helped keep him in the ether of like somewhat safe on the internet to not just be a complete, I don't know, underground, like hated figure. But yeah. None of those people need to use me for anything, you know? So the fact that these people who maybe like these people and are transphobic themselves, speaking of the fans, see that the people they idolize and love so much want to have a trans person around them, I think matters. So that's real trans representation. I mean, what should I be doing? Should I just be having fucking conversations with people who already agree with me that already like love trans people and support trans people? Or should I be sitting in rooms with people who at least publicly are seen as not friendly towards me? It's a no-brainer for me.
My favorite Reddit comment though on that one, there was a picture of like you and Joe, and I think Michael Malice, I don't remember who it was, but definitely you and Joe and one other person. And the comment was, Blaire White is the tallest dude in that room.
Right. It's crazy how like we're all short though. Like, it's kind of weird how that panned out. It's like, but what's funny is like, for whatever reason, all the pictures that we've ever taken, there's some sort of fucking distortion happening, because I actually am shorter than all of them. Like Michael's 1 inch taller than me exactly. And then I think Joe's 1 inch taller than him. And then we took some picture where, because of the perspective, I'm the tallest. Right. And I'm like, the iPhone really would play the tranny in the picture. But yeah, it's weird how we're all short.